Hello.
She gets a BB gun.
Hey, Bubba, this is Matthew, Insured Title Agency, West Chase.
Hi, buddy.
Shameless plug.
Oh, are you the guy that was going to look over the papers from the crazy dude that came by yesterday?
I am that guy.
Okay, so give me a report, buddy.
Okay, here's your report. I actually contacted the owner of the title agency that did the closing for his father.
All right, so we we got some really good intel here.
Yes, you do. I had a very nice conversation with the lady. She was very familiar with this because Joe not only stalked you, he's been harassing her and stalking her.
Well, I can only imagine. I bet you she's gone through times 10 what I've gone through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the whole premise of the situation with his father, he did own multiple properties that were all together, for about 20 years.
Right.
They're mobile homes and they're rentals, except one. One was his primary residence, his homestead. So he had been renting them out and all this, but apparently that both the son and the dad have substance issues.
Right.
And I will give Joe credit when he's looking at documents his father signed 20 years ago. The signatures are different than they were at the closing table. And Dan can explain to Joe, if he's listening, why an alcoholic's signature would be completely different 15, 20 years later when they're drunks and they
Cognitive
can't hold
deterioration.
Their hands steady.
Yep.
Cognitive deterioration, Dan.
Absolutely.
Put a good one on you.
Okay. So he was there. He was not drunk, according to her, but he was known as a heavy alcoholic, and he sold these properties for nothing because he just wanted the money. And I think they all were sold pretty much within 6 months of his passing. He was not married, so there was not a stepmom. He divorced his wife, so the properties were all in his name solely. All the funds and the money went to him, and he died like 4 months later. So he cashed out on these properties and basically Nick Caged himself, leaving Las Vegas style.
So you're saying the person that got the financial windfall from these properties was Joe's father, and he pretty much blew all the money before he died.
Correct.
That's kind of like the shorthand version of that. And yes, the signature is different because Joe's dad was a known alcoholic, and signature changed in the 15 years of alcoholism.
Correct.
And he's the person that closed on these properties, not anybody else. The actual dad that died later.
The actual dad. He went to a title agency that's owned by an attorney. There were witnesses there. The son does not understand. Yes, the dad got screwed, but the investor that purchased the property offered him cash deals, quick closings, and he took it.
Right.
He said, I don't care. I just want the money.
Because at that point, he was probably heavily addicted to whatever. And, people that are heavily addicted to alcohol, drugs, whatever, gambling, they'll quick sale, quick claim deed, whatever it takes to get, the...
Well, these were legit purchases. The closing was at a title agency. The buyers got warranty deeds. They got title policies. So there's nothing shady.
So there really is there's nothing going on here. The only shadiness is really Joe's dad and what he did.
Yes. Joe's dad made a judgment error because he sold the properties for cheap and then took the money. It didn't tell his family, I'm sure, that he did this. So I can understand Joe saying, I don't understand. He's owned these properties for 20 years, and now they're not in his name. Someone must have screwed him over. Joe, it was your dad. He screwed himself.
And that's probably why the law enforcement community has not really came rushing to his aid, because they know that this information's already been investigated, and now we know as well. And more importantly, thank you for running that down for us, because now we know that indeed there wasn't any shadiness or underhandedness or conspiracy stuff that went on here. And I don't know. Do you think Joe's been told this story and he just refuses to believe it?
Yes, Joe actually had probate done, and there is a light at the end of this tunnel for Joe. You said, or he was saying, that he's homeless and he can't get into one of these houses, and maybe he can consult his probate attorney that did the probate for his dad, that one of these properties, his father's homestead property, went 100% to him. So he is actually an owner of his dad's primary residence. Whether he understands that or not, that's his house.
So he sold all the adjacent properties. He kept his homestead, and because he died without a wife or any other children, it goes by the laws of intestacy to his surviving son.
Correct. And probate was done, and the order determining homestead was given to Joe.
So why doesn't so Joe has a house that he could live in. Now, what do we know the value of that home if he was to quick sell it?
Yeah, I've got the tax bill here. It's about $70,000.
That's something. That's a lot of money.
So I mean, $70,000 that he could probably sell it
for a homeless guy.
What's in it? Yeah, it's free and clear.
Or you'd live there.
Yeah, you
get
can
a job.
Either live there. Well, let's be easy on that.
He did mention, and I heard this. I listened to the show afterward because you replay it. That there's somebody there, so there may be a tenant or somebody living in there, and he doesn't realize that he can evict those people.
Right.
Whether or not they're on a lease, I don't know.
Or get the value of their tenancy. And
get the rent.
Get the lease payment.
He should be getting the rent.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, listen. Hey, more importantly, man, thank you for giving all this information to us, buddy. I really, really appreciate that. We would have never been able to run all that down. Thank you.
It's what I do every day, and you can tell Kevin Hazelwood if he needs a title guy, Lummy's got my email.
All right, man. I appreciate you, bud.
Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. I'll listen to the rest of the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Great Bubba Army there, huh?
Great guys.
No doubt.
And now, Lummy, next time crazy-ass Joe shows up, maybe the cops will respond a little quicker. We can trespass him. But more importantly, we can say, Joe, settle down. The house that your dad lived in
is yours.
I
already told him that.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. There's somebody living there. Well, then kick him out.
Get the rent.
I told him what he said, and he said that he was told misinformation, and he's so relieved for you to help him, Bubba.
So for real,
wonderful. Yeah,
we should try to get Joe on the phone.
I'll try to.
Joe, maybe Monday, call us so we can give you the good news. I mean, you got a $70,000 house that you own, my friend.
But please just don't show up.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it over the phone, not through the gate, okay, bud?
In the Love Sponge monarchy, thou shalt not challenge King Bubba's authority ever.
May, say it, May.
He's not on drugs. He's just weird.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.